Hello, welcome to practice number 2 of the Sauced Hockey Podcast. I'm David.
And I'm Charlie.
And we're so excited you guys are joining us tonight. And what do we have on today's show, Charlie? What are we going to be talking
We're
about?
going to be talking about the World Juniors. We have the finals today. And we're going to be talking about last night's Nashville Predators game. That was such a cool game. And we're going to do our featured card reveal like we do every time. And then you can join us if you're on YouTube, you can join us on Twitch for scores around the league and highlights and stuff.
Yeah, when we switch it over towards the end of the stream, we'll play some videos, watch some highlights and things like that over just on the Twitch. So if you're joining us on YouTube, switch over to the Twitch when we get to that part, but we'll tell you then. First, right off the bat, World Juniors, we were just sitting here watching the bronze medal game just wrapped up, and Czechia took out Sweden in a shootout. Went how many rounds?
14.
14 rounds in the shootout. Amazing game. I mean, really close. Both of Sweden's goals were scored by Predators prospect David Edstrom. What do you know about Edstrom, Charlie?
Well, like a month ago or something, we were talking about how in Edstrom's league, he was playing amazing. And
yeah, he's been really good. And we acquired him just this past year in the trade for Yaroslav Askarov, who was hands down the number one goalie prospect in the country. And the Nashville Predators had him, but we traded him away. I think what happened is we signed UC Saros to a long 8-year extension, and Askarov probably didn't want to wait that long to be the starter for a team. So my guess is he and his agents got together and said, hey, let's see if we can ask for a trade and go to one of these teams where you'll be able to be the number one goalie faster. And ended up there, the Sharks expressed some interest. He got traded to the Sharks, and we got Edstrom back in as part of that trade. I don't remember what else, maybe a draft pick also?
In Magnus Krona.
And Magnus Krona, who's playing really well for Milwaukee. So all in all, so far, seems like an okay trade for the Preds. I think a lot of people are sad to see Askarov go, but Saros is still playing unbelievably well. We have just a long-standing history of Finnish goaltenders in Nashville, and Saros is doing incredible. I can't wait to watch him at the Four Nations, which Charlie found out for Christmas. We are going to the Four Nations face-off tournament in Montreal. We're going to be traveling to Montreal in February as a family, and we're going to take in 2 games. Which ones are we going to be watching?
I don't remember.
Don't remember? We're going to see USA versus Sweden.
That's right.
No, I'm sorry. USA versus Finland,
then
as well as Finland versus Sweden.
That's right.
Which we're watching a lot of those juniors players right now in the tournament, but we'll see the NHL level players in the Four Nations face-off. It's going to be so exciting. So anyway, David Edstrom scores both of Sweden's goals today in the game to tie it up 2-2 against Czechia, who looked really strong. I mean, Czechia had some big, strong, skilled players. Really good tournament from both of those teams. Sweden went undefeated for a long time. Looked really strong, especially the play from their captain, Axel Sandin Pellikka, who we both picked up on our Hockey Ultimate teams in EA NHL 25. And we were hoping to see some goals today. He got a shootout goal, but we're not sure if that counts, if his overall card number will go up. Those of you that are HUT players like we are.
If anybody knows, please let us know.
Yeah, let us know in the chat if you have seen that and know if shootout goals count for fantasy cards in HUT. So what else? We got the finals tonight. It's going to be Team USA versus
Team Finland.
Team Finland. I mean, that's a great game. I don't remember the last time these two played. I want to say it was 2019. As far as played in the finals, they play each other all the time, but I think they played in the finals in 2019 and Finland won. And it should be a heck of a game. Team USA is really strong. Also features 2 Predators. They're not getting a ton of playing time yet. They're lower down because Team USA is stacked. I mean, the top line of Ryan Leonard, the captain, with Gabe Perreault and Hagens is just killing it. I mean, they're scoring, it feels like, almost every time they're on the ice and always doing something productive. They've been fun to watch. And of those guys, we know Ryan Leonard's already drafted, right?
Yep.
Where's he going to be playing?
The Washington Capitals.
The Washington Capitals. I mean, so many players this juniors tournament we'd see and go, oh, what team did they get drafted by? And it's the Capitals, so that's going to be exciting for them. But we have 2 players on the Preds. Who's on Team USA from the Nashville Predators?
Joey Willis and Teddy Stiga.
Joey Willis, Teddy Stiga. Teddy Stiga's gotten a little bit more playing time and has assisted some. Did he score? I don't remember if he scored any goals or not. But definitely got some assists. They put Joey Willis in there once. He's been their healthy scratch a couple of times. But I know I saw him play at least once, and I think he also scored. Yeah, so both guys, looked like they did well with the time that they were given and have a bright, bright future. I know Joey Willis is having an incredible season on his team. So, a lot to look forward to as a Nashville Predators fan, too. Overall, we had how many players total in the World Juniors? 8. So, we got 2 from Team USA. We had 3 on Team Sweden that just wrapped up. David Edstrom, we mentioned, Felix Nielsen, and Gustafsson on defense.
We got 2 on Canada.
2 on Canada who are defensemen, right?
Both defensemen.
Who do we have there?
It was Canada's starting defense pair, Tanner Molendijk and Andrew Gibson. And then in goal for Czechia, but I don't think we ever got to see him play, is Malata. Yeah. So we'll get to maybe see him at a future World Juniors. Sometimes they just bring those guys along to get the experience, I think. Maybe next year.
So, let's move on to talking about last night's Nashville Predators game. We're in a back-to-back, right? We come off that huge win over Vancouver, and now last night we're playing Calgary.
Yeah.
And what did you think of the game last night?
Well, we had in our backup start against their Dustin Wolf, who's been pretty amazing. Going into game, I was keeping an eye on Colton Sissons because yesterday he had 2. The day before last night, he had two points, and other than that game, he had 2 points the whole season.
Yeah, he's finally starting to get some attention.
And I just for fun, I wanted to see if Gustav Nyquist started scoring again after that one empty netter against the Canucks.
I don't remember. He didn't really have that many good looks last night like he did in the Canucks game, right?
No, not in the Canucks game.
I mean, last night, really, the number 1 star, hands down, was
Ryan O'Reilly.
Ryan O'Reilly, the factor. I mean, he has been by far one of my favorite players since he came to Nashville. I always followed his career, but when he came to Nashville, obviously he started paying attention a lot more, and he is so good. And last year, he had an incredible season. It was funny, last night during the game, I was going back, reading through his bio at some of his history and where he played juniors and when he came into the league, the different things that happened. And I had forgotten some of the path that his career took him. But we know he's a former Conn Smythe Trophy winner with the St. Louis Blues in their incredible Stanley Cup run in 2019. And he also won the Patrice Bergeron Trophy, right? Famously known as the Patrice Bergeron Trophy. The Selke Trophy, which goes to the forward that is best defensively responsible. So the best two-way forward. And Ryan O'Reilly, I mean, so good, but definitely had like a scoring drought at the beginning of the season. And I picked up his fantasy card in Hockey Ultimate Team, where their level increases every time they score a goal for those that don't play. And we were waiting, and Ryan O'Reilly just wasn't scoring any goals. So he's been picking it up, gotten hot lately, and 3 goals last night, hat trick. Incredible game.
Ryan O'Reilly is now level 87 in EA NHL 25.
Level 87. What else stood out to you last night?
Well, I was looking at who wasn't playing tonight for the Preds, and then I noticed we've got a good amount of guys who aren't playing. Cole Smith and Adam Wilsby are on injured reserve, and then we have Tommy Novak and Jeremy Lauzon who have shorter injuries, and then Zachary Leroux is still suspended from the slew foot a couple games ago. Yeah,
we're definitely missing some guys, and we've called some guys up.
I thought that would affect our penalty kill, but no, our penalty kill still looked amazing last night.
They played great. It was really good to see those two games at the end of the year where we lost basically by power play goals were disappointing after the penalty kill performance we've had so far this year. So it was really good to see the penalty kill step it back up. First in the shutout, and then last night too. I mean, was there one goal on the power play or 5-on-5? I don't remember.
See, I know O'Reilly had two goals, I think, on the power play.
Yeah, I can't quite remember what their one goal. We're gonna watch the highlight later. We'll see, but
I don't think
either way, the
I think
penalty
theirs
kill
was
looked
even
good.
Strength.
Even strength goal, yeah.
Slap shot.
So O'Reilly scores twice. We also had a huge goal from Fedor Svechkov, which I really liked this kid when he was pulled up earlier this season, and was a little bit disappointed to see him get sent back down to Milwaukee. But it was after a bad performance against the same team, I think, against Calgary Flames. So it was great to see him. He had his first multi-point NHL game, had a goal and an assist last night. The goal was unassisted right off the face-off, just went up and scored. And the assist was a beautiful pass to O'Reilly for, I think, O'Reilly's second goal, right? Or was it his first one?
It was
his first one. So, yeah, really, really cool to see from Svechkov. He's a fun kid, and his interview after the game with Lindsay Rowley was so fun to watch. He's so excited and gracious to the people that are helping him, and it seems like a really good kid, fun to cheer for. What else stood out?
I think I like Nick Blankenburg.
I think I like Nick Blankenburg, true. So for those that don't know, somebody posted on Twitter, I'll have to find the tweet and share it on our Twitter page, but he said, Preds fan in 2017, 2018, man, I'm so excited to watch the game tonight, watch Roman Josi, PK Subban, Matthias Ekholm, Ryan Ellis.
Yeah.
Preds fan in 2024, I think I like Nick Blankenburg because he was an unknown player, and our defense core is definitely not quite full of the superstars that it was back in those days. We still have Yossi, obviously, but some of these other guys aren't as big of a name, and Blankenburg looks very talented. His goal a few games back, he looked like Bobby Orr. He took it in from the blue line, basically skated past all 5 players on the other team to put home a beautiful goal. Skates really well, defends well, has a nice shot. I think he's going to be really fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely stepping up because, I mean, just yesterday we were talking about how Brady Shea isn't doing a whole lot for the team, and Nick Blankenburg is stepping up.
Yes. Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I notice him more often than I notice Brady Shea, which says a lot. Then I think one of the performances that stood out last night too was, the third period we're humming along. It's a close game, and Marchessault decides to drop the gloves. He didn't get a goal this game, still had an assist, right? Did he keep his point streak alive?
Yes.
Yes, I think so. I think still got a point or two out of it with assist to O'Reilly, but dropped the gloves. He gets into a fight, and you could tell the whole team got pumped and really came back with effort and scored right after that. I think that's when Svechkov scored, right? Something like that. So we'll see. We'll see in the highlight later, but cool to see. You impact the game in all kinds of different ways. It's not just by putting the puck in the net. And sometimes people forget that just because a player's not scoring doesn't mean he can't have a great impact on the game. Whether you're playing well defensively, you're blocking shots, you're making passes, making big hits that the other team, it makes it hard for them to play against you. You're, thinking about where people are on the ice, always looking to see what's the next best play. But it also includes, in our sport of hockey, sometimes dropping the gloves to fight, which a lot of people disagree on whether it should be allowed or not. And we're not really here to say. For those that don't know, we are a martial arts family, so we train fighting all of the time. And I think fighting in sports is, for the most part, probably not the best idea. It's kind of bad sportsmanship, but it's a piece of hockey culture and this sport, and it's been around for a long time. One of the arguments for it is that when a player does something that you don't agree with, maybe he hurts one of your smaller, skillful players with an illegal hit or a dirty hit, something like that, that he's going to have to stand up for it. He's going to have someone on our team is going to come try to drop the gloves and fight with you for doing that. And I think it makes you're held accountable for your actions by knowing there's a big guy on the other team that might come for me if I do something I'm not supposed to do. And yeah, that is a pro that some would say keeps the game safer. The counter argument to that obviously is fighting is itself very dangerous. So hard to say. We're not here to say if it's right or wrong, but it is still exciting to watch. I think a lot of hockey fans, when you watch the crowd, nothing gets them more amped up than a fight. Maybe a goal, but it's debatable.
Fight could definitely get the crowd way more fired up than a goal.
This past New Year's Eve, I was with we were with a bunch of friends in Chicago, and most of them were Brazilian and jiu-jitsu practitioners and are not hockey fans, but we were watching both the Winter Classic game on New Year's Eve and then the Nashville Predators game right after. And every time someone dropped the gloves to fight, the whole room started paying attention and, wow, did you see that? And that wasn't the case for all of the other hockey activity going on. So fighting naturally draws eyes, and Marchessault did it last night. I thought it brought a lot of energy to the team.
Mm-hmm. He might be small, but he can definitely show people who's boss. He destroyed that guy.
He did. He landed a beautiful right hand and took him down. It was
Matt Coronado or something.
Yeah, it was a great fight. And he is small. How big is Marchessault?
He's like 5'8" or something.
He definitely looks it, especially when you see him skating by like Luke Shin. Some of those guys, like he definitely looks quite a bit smaller. So interesting to see. And you mentioned earlier we were playing the Flames and their goalie Dustin Wolf. He's a rookie, but also small for a goaltender, which we don't see very often in the NHL now. But in some cases, like our team, we have Saros in net, who is only 5'11", and there's not that many goalies that are below 6 feet tall. Even 6'1", 6'2" is kind of small. We've got a lot of goalies now that are 6'4", 6'6". These guys are big. They take up the whole net. And if they just keep good positioning, it's very hard to score on them. Whereas the smaller guys like Saros and Wolf, I've heard multiple commentators reference Saros when talking about Wolf and say, this kid reminds me of UC Saros. He's small, he's fast, and a great goalie. So it looks like the Flames might have a good one with Wolf. And, we're cheering on the smaller goalies out here since we've got Saros. We always think that's cool. So fun to watch. But we were able to put in a few goals on him last night, so that was nice. And Preds now on a streak. It's only 2 games, but we're going to call it a streak because they're hard to come by this season. Let's call it a streak, man. Let's keep the streak alive. Next game will be Tuesday night versus
the Jets.
The Jets.
That's the last game of our road trip, and that's...
Yeah, this 5-game road trip or 4-game road trip, something like that.
But that's the team we played at the beginning.
We started at Winnipeg. We're going to finish at Winnipeg. And we need some revenge. We played very well in that game. I think it was very even, except for the stupid penalties that we committed, and that gave them the edge there. They have an incredible power play. Yeah, Lauzon. Was that the game Lauzon had 3 penalties?
I think so.
Whew. And... they put away the power play goals and made us pay for it. So let's hope we can stay out of the box on Tuesday night and play the way we've been playing and make this a 3-game win streak. Anything else stand out from the game last night? I know one. Anunen.
Yeah, Anunen.
For those that don't know, this is our backup goalie. We mentioned Saros, but Saros didn't play last night. It was Anunen. How did we get Anunen on the team?
So... It's been like I think almost a couple months now. We traded Scott Wedgwood, like a 30-year-old dude who wasn't playing that good for us, to the Colorado Avalanche for this young goalie, just this Anunen, who we love. He's awesome. And we were saying how UC Saros is small, but just this Anunen is 6'4".
Yeah, he's tall. He's big. He's incredibly talented. We found out about him from watching the Avalanche games. he was their backup, and he was playing. We saw him a little bit last year. I remember noticing him last year and thinking, man, this kid's really good. Wasn't he at the top of some of the goalie stats throughout the year?
Yeah, I think so.
We were like, who's this Anunen kid? But he wasn't playing that often. He was just a backup, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then this year, it starts out the year, they have Georgiev in net, who was playing terribly to start the season for the Avalanche. The Avalanche are lucky enough to be able to score so much that bad goaltending doesn't affect them as much as it would affect other teams. But Georgiev was not doing well. We kept kind of rooting for Anunen maybe to get the starting position, and they weren't giving him a ton of looks. They kept going back to Georgiev, and somehow our general manager, Barry Trotz, is able to make this trade happen, which we're all at home going, yes, this is amazing. We were sad to see Lankinen go. Wedgwood comes in. I know he's a great goalie. He's having success now for Colorado. He's very good. But, a little bit older. It doesn't, not, 30's not old by any means, but compared to a 23-year-old goalie, it's older. And I thought this was an incredible trade. We got younger, we got bigger, and I think we got better with that trade. So I think Anunen is going to be incredible to have for Saros. So Saros doesn't have to play 70 games for us to be able to be successful. He can maybe share the load a little bit, maybe drop his total down to 50 games. Maybe Anunen can play 30, 32 games a year, something like that. And if they can find a good balance between those two, it's going to keep Saros healthy, let him play a lot longer, have a longer career. Since we signed him to 8 years, we'd like for him to be able to play that long. So having a good backup's a good part of it. And we were saying last night, we might have the best goalie tandem in the National Hockey League. What would be some other good ones?
Right now, the Avalanche.
True. They started out terrible. Then they got Wedgwood from us, who started playing really well. And then they went ahead and traded Georgiev to San Jose for Mackenzie Blackwood, who was looking really good in San Jose, but
really good.
playing behind a pretty bad team. They're a lot better this year, but still near the bottom. And now they've got Blackwood and Wedgwood, and they're both playing well. So great for Colorado. Other good tandems, I think Vancouver. Demko's having a injury hard time right now, but when he gets back to his true self, him and Lankinen will be a nasty goalie duo. Boston used to have it, but they got rid of Olmark, so they're stuck with Swayman and Korpisalo now, I think, as their backup. Decent, but they haven't been playing necessarily up to their level either. Any other great... Toronto. Wool and, we were mentioning them yesterday. Stolars and Joseph Wool are playing really good, so that's a good goalie tandem. If you can think of any others that you think take out the Preds goalie tandem, who would it be? Who's the top goalie duo in the league right now? Put it in the chat and we'll see if we if anybody disagrees with us. But yeah, incredible play from Anunen last night. Only lets in one. I think he's now maybe 3-2, something like that for the Predators since getting traded. Has like a 95 save percentage, something along those lines. He's playing very well for us, and that's going to be great.
I would like to point out on O'Reilly's third goal, that was an empty netter.
Yeah, this is a good point.
Steven Stamkos had the puck for a pretty open shot, but he slowed down and waited for Ryan O'Reilly to get up to feed him the puck so he could get the hat trick, and that was just awesome. It's
awesome. It shows he's a great teammate. It shows he's super hockey aware. He was aware of the situation, knows O'Reilly has 2 goals, wants the hat trick, knows O'Reilly's coming up behind him, probably could have taken the shot and scored, but goes ahead and waits for O'Reilly, gets it over to him with a beautiful pass, too. That wasn't an easy pass. There was a stick in the passing lane, and he gets it sauced, I think, over the stick. Right? It's a saucer pass. This is the Sauced Hockey Podcast, so we love to see the sauce when it happens. And, O'Reilly's able to get the third with a nice shot, top shelf, I think, on the empty net, which was really cool to see. So we were jumping up and down. It's 1:00 in the morning here. Whenever we have these West Coast games, Charlie stays up to watch them with me, and we were pumped. It was very cool to see, and cool to see from Stamkos. Anything else from last night? think that mostly covers it.
The only other thing was that we already talked about this, but that Svechkov goal after face-off, I love that. That was just a really good goal.
Yeah, that was neat. I mean, he's like falling forward, dekes it around the goalie, shoots it in. Beautiful goal. Svechkov's going to be fun to watch. I think Milwaukee's probably struggling right now. I think they got another win last night, and I don't mean struggling in their success. I mean struggling because we've taken so many of their players recently. It's got to be hard to run some of these AHL teams where the NHL can just pull your best players up whenever they want. It's got to be tough to be those coaches. And it happens in some of the other leagues too. We pull up from the ECHL and things like that. We grew up here watching in Knoxville, the Knoxville Speed and the Knoxville Ice Bears, and they're low enough that they don't get pulled up as often, but still sometimes we'll get players that go up from our league up to maybe the ECHL, something like that. And it stinks when you're a fan and you see one of the best players on your team get pulled up, but at the same time you're cheering for them because it's so cool to get to go up a notch to the next league. So hopefully we'll get to see Svechkov a little more this year.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we are going to finish the YouTube stream here. So if you're on YouTube and you want to keep watching, go ahead and head on over to our Twitch stream. It's twitch.tv/Sauced Hockey Podcast. Sauced is SAUCED. Because we're going to go ahead and watch some highlights and scores. Oh, but we got one more thing to do.
One more thing.
Don't let us forget.
One more thing.
We got to do our featured card of the day.
So
we'll bring in Augie and Sully here to show their cards as well. Charlie, you want to go first, or you want me this time since you went first last time? All right, look, it's hiding right here. I think you probably could have guessed it. One of my favorite players on the Nashville Predators right now. Scores the hat trick last night. I've got a brand new full art Young Guns Ryan O'Reilly. This card.
What a throwback card.
It's from the Upper Deck Series 1 set. And it's awesome. It's a Colorado Avalanche Young Guns O'Reilly card. That's my pick for the day. What you got, Charlie?
The card I have picked out is also Ryan O'Reilly.
Ryan O'Reilly. Which one? Oh, the Blues. Metal.
It's the Blues metal one. Like, this is the same type of card as my Soros card I had yesterday.
Ah, good pick. Man, that 2019 Stanley Cup run for the Blues was incredible. They were in last place on January 2nd, which we were basically in last place around this time as well. So it gives us hope for ours. All right. Sully, what's yours?
Elias Pettersson, City Satellites.
Oh.
He is so good. When he went against the Predators last night.
I think.
Yeah, he didn't get to play the other night, unfortunately, but he is a great player. He's one of their best, Sully. You're right.
Yeah.
That's a cool one. I like that one, how it has the city behind it. That's Vancouver on the card. You want to show it one more time? Show it, show it to the camera there. That's cool. You can see the city lights in the background. That's neat. Thanks, Sully. What do you have, Augie?
It's their time, Luke Evangelista.
Oh, show it up there. Oh, that's a great card. I want that one from him. He hasn't traded it to me. Did you pull that one?
Yes,
I pulled this one.
He pulled that one from a pack a couple weeks ago. It's their time, Luke Evangelista.
I think it was the 2024-25
MVP
set.
The MVP set, which we're going to do some pack polls on this YouTube channel as well, so stay tuned for some of those. Which, by the way, go ahead and like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Share it with any of your hockey-loving friends. We are just getting started with this podcast and this channel, and we've got lots of plans, so hope you guys stick around, stay with us, and comment. Let us know if there's certain things you'd like to hear on the podcast, hear us discuss or talk about. And if you've pulled any good cards lately, we'd love to see them. So send us some pictures, tag us in your good polls so we can see them. All right, we're going to sign off on the YouTube and head over to the Twitch stream so you can stick around, watch the highlights with us. Let's see.